You know, working with my brother is a great thing because we think a lot alike, and sometimes we don't have to speak it, and it kind of confuses other people. Because we've been together every day for a long time. But it works very well, and it's the only way to go.
This is the definition of a family ranch. It is blood, sweat, and tears of every Nunley involved, wives, grandparents, aunts, uncles, everybody. It's a family ranch. And we're proud of that.
Well, it's been a good life. I mean, it's a lot of work, but it's enjoyable. It's something different every day.
Hello and welcome to The American Rancher. I'm Pam Minnick. This week we're heading to South Texas, not far from the Mexico border, to visit the Nunley brothers operation at the Coyote Ranch outside Sabinal. The terrain we'll see on today's program is rough, brushy country located west and south of San Antonio, and it's unlike many of the places we've taken you to. Yet Bob and Richard Nunley and their family are excellent ranchers and have raised very good beef cattle in this territory for some 80 years. It's going to be a good story as we show you their outfit. We're glad you joined us. Stay tuned.
The Nunley family is a rock-solid South Texas family that has large land holdings. They're known as high-quality people and excellent cattle producers. Their focus is always on having very functional type livestock and cattle operations that work for the commercial industry, that are profit oriented, and it's good dealing with them because their word is their bond. Their cattle are backed up by their reputation, and their reputation is rock solid.
We have a family-run business. We've been here a long time, and we'll be here hopefully for a very long time. People who buy our cattle can expect to be able to buy more when they need to replace. The same cattle, same place, always.
Tune in to The American Rancher here on RFD TV. Each week we bring you the stories from the people and places that make ranching an American lifestyle. It's both the heritage and enterprise of livestock production across our nation each week from the people that do it. Check RFD TV, the magazine, for times and listings in your area, and visit our website, theamericanrancher.com. Thanks again to all of you for watching The American Rancher.
Welcome back to The American Rancher. The Nunley brothers is a partnership between Bob and Richard Nunley in the cattle business that was started decades earlier by their grandfather, Red Nunley. The ranch is headquartered outside the town of Sabinal, Texas.
Our grandfather started as a kid in the cattle business on his own as a very young man with ones and twos, and he developed partnerships and bought lots of steers in Mexico, took them to Kansas. Then he bought this ranch, the Coyote, here in 1941. He had worked here for Mr. Kennedy, who owned it previously, and purchased it in 1941, and he's partnered with Dolph Briscoe Sr. and then later Dolph Briscoe Jr. for a long time, and ran a large cattle operation with him. Then when my grandfather passed away, we were lucky enough to be able to continue that partnership with Governor Briscoe, and saw great benefit from his friendship and mentoring.
None of us lived down here. We had a cookhouse and a little hunting cabin. And then I think 18 years ago, my wife and our family moved down here. And I guess really we're the first ones to live on this place. We've had various leases and other ranches around, which makes it handy to have more country right next door. Use the same equipment and the same people to run it.
Well, Gramps was always putting us on a horse when Bob and I were young, and we did, he taught us a lot about riding horses, and he'd put us out in the pasture with a helper, or a babysitter, if you will, when we were young, and we'd ride out, all we'd see is trees all day long, and hear him go over in the helicopter every once in a while. But it was quite an adventure, and really early mornings and long hot days, but a lot of fun, good memories.
Well, South Texas is pretty flat, but it's known to be very brushy. And the cows hide in the brush, but it's nutritious. They do well here. Of course, obviously, like today, it gets very hot and not real cold. But we have a long growing season. Grass does well, strong grass. It's good for cows.
Ranching in South Texas is good. It's tough, and if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. So I guess the fact that we're here and entry level is pretty tough into it. It can be, I'm not sure if we're in drought more than we're in good times, but we've been in good times for a couple of summers, so you kind of forget the bad stuff. But it's all a learning experience, and it builds a lot of character.
Our base herd is Santa Gertrudis. We raise purebred Santa Gertrudis, and we cross them with Hereford to make what we're going to sell in our special sale. We also cross them with Angus, and now we're crossing some of our Santa Gertrudis with Akausi. And then these heifers will be bred, the sale heifers will be bred to Wagyu for calving ease.
We've gone with the Wagyu bulls for calving ease. Just there were a few options, and that seemed to be the best option for a surefire small calf. Very important that the customers get a live cow and a live calf. And it's not always about how great that first calf is, but that it's alive and mama's alive, and that has shown through as the most important thing.
Well, the Santa Gertrudis is developed in South Texas at the King Ranch, and it's adapted for this area. It's very heat tolerant. It covers a lot of ground, very thrifty, does well in the brush and the pear and the kind of terrain we have. And we found it works pretty good. They work pretty good everywhere.
What's noticeable about these cattle, they grow up in some really harsh South Texas environments on our places and others, and our grandfather used to burn pear for them, and they would really have to survive through some terrible droughts, and we've seen it likewise. Cattle will be out grazing in the heat of the day many times, and instead of shaded up like other cattle do, and they just have done very well in that manner. And they breed. They're good breeders even in bad conditions like that. So they get bred again and have lots of calves.
We try to stay on top of technology. I think in '91 we started using the EID, electronic identification, in a lot of our cattle. We also use that in our steers to, when we're marketing them, to certify them as hormone-free. We use it in our heifers to keep track of all their medications and all that. Of course, we have a fairly modern squeeze chute. We have a sorting alley that my grandfather designed many years ago that we can sort up to 7 ways in one pass.
It's really handy. We can sort cattle up to 7 different ways, which usually ends up being a mess if you try that many different sets, but it's very handy where cattle can run through one time and get put where you want them to without having to be sorted through gates and what have you multiple times. And it's easier on the cattle, easier on the men. And that's kind of what we're about. With pens and everything we do with our cattle is about being gentle and easy on them and the people too. We used to work our cattle with helicopters. My grandfather went from huge crews of mounted cowboys to cowboys and helicopter to all helicopter, and we are now back to 0 helicopters, and we use cake wagon and a siren and lots of fencing and just try to outsmart them sometimes.
We're all cow-calf. We run our yearlings on some farmland, our home-raised yearlings, and we sell them in the spring, usually on Superior, as yearlings, 8 weights, more or less. Just what they normally weigh. We have a 3-month calving season. Everywhere we have cows, we rotate them. We have a high-intensity rotational system. Some of it's in paddocks, cells, and some of it's just the pastures that were on the ranch. And predominantly gather and work them with a siren and a sack of cake. Very few cowboys. Some cowboys in the Panhandle in West Texas. 4-wheelers here in South Texas.
The Nunley operation has been family-run since Red Nunley acquired the Coyote Ranch, and it's extremely important to Red's grandsons, Bob and Richard, that Nunley Brothers continues as a family-run business in the future. And they're beginning to see daily involvement from their children, Chloe, Sarah, and Caroline.
So growing up, you know, my dad pushed me to go out and do something that is non-ranch related, to get experience elsewhere and bring it back to the ranch in an effort to broaden the horizons. I don't think my dad and uncle will ever hang up the reins. It's one of those things that ranching you never retire from, you're always a part of it. When they finally let me make decisions, it'll be a scary day, I think, for everybody. But one that's exciting. I think taking over the ranch with myself and my 2 cousins, we're prepared to take it over, or one day. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but someday.
That's an exciting and daunting idea, I think, being in charge. But I think I'm looking forward to it and looking forward to working with Caroline and Chloe, and I'm excited to get to voice my own opinions, but also very aware that, you know, I'm coming back after some time off, and so it's time for me to be kind of the bottom of the totem pole again. Well, I think that businesses are very similar, kind of no matter what they are. I was actually focused in the hotel business, and it's funny to me how similar the ranching business and the hotel business is. Very managerial type role, and you get to see and work with a lot of people and make your customers happy.
I think that since I was raised here, moving to a city for college was a pretty big shock for me, but as much as I love Fort Worth, there's nothing that can really replace the life that we have here. Just being incorporated into the business has, I think, given me so much more life experience than I ever could imagine. My dad has done a really good job of keeping my sister and I and Chloe involved in everything like day-to-day operations and just daily activities that I feel like I've been really lucky and blessed to have the life that I have.
It's really important that it's family, because we do it the way we want to and don't rely on someone else to run the business for us, and it's good to be involved every day. It's good to have the kids involved. They're growing up, and their opinions are important and matter, and we can see the future developing there.
Raising cattle is a family tradition for the Nunley brothers, and today the large cow-calf operation continues to thrive all across the Lone Star State. You're watching The American Rancher. Stay with us.
Raising cattle is a family tradition for the Nunley brothers, and today the large cow-calf operation continues to thrive across Texas. Their Santa Gertrudis-based cows cross with Hereford bulls, make an ideal heterosis genetic blend that produces a productive feeder animal, along with a superior cow in the pasture. Join the Nunley brothers on September 16th for their One Ranch Raised annual bred heifer sale, offering 600 plus head of the finest Nunley genetics. For more information, visit nunleybrothers.com.
Welcome back to The American Rancher. We've seen some unique and rugged country around Coyote Ranch. Now we continue our story with the Nunley brothers.
Well, our cattle are raised on native pasture. They're born there, their mamas are there, and so they know how to forage. We don't feed them. They're never in a feedlot environment. The most intensive thing is the last few months where they go into this Bermuda grass, and they learn to move without a lot of hassle with horses and equipment. They follow the truck when you blow the siren. Makes them easy to handle. And they're thrifty. They forage. They travel a long ways when they need to. They're not spoiled. Right now it's probably 100 degrees, and they're not shaded up. They'll lay around out in the sun. It doesn't seem to bother them a bit.
Our heifer sale is in September. We bring all of our female Hereford cross heifers in off of the oat program, and then we expose them to now Wagyu bull. We'll rotate those cattle in an intensive rotation, a 2 to 3 day rotation on Bermuda grass and clown grass all summer, and feed them cake, and they learn to go through gates and come to a siren and eat cake and off the ground and become gentle. The herd will be about 700 head, give or take. So it's quite a herd moving through a gate from one paddock to the next, and it's fun to watch.
Our heifer sale is September 16th, and they can come out a couple of days before and view them. They can also view them on Superior's website. I think they have videos posted beforehand. And then on sale day, the cattle stay here in the pens, and we have the auction over at the lodge. They play the videos, so we get to view the cattle in the air conditioned comfort there. At the same time, people can watch it on Superior's website and bid on the phone or on the internet.
The Nunley commercial females are very good. Mark your calendars for Friday, September 16th as Bob and Richard host their One Ranch Raised annual bred heifer sale at the Coyote Ranch. Cattlemen, this is an excellent offering of females that will go anywhere and do the job for you.
I'm Jerome Urbanowski, and I'm a purebred Santa Gertrudis breeder, and I'm also a consultant for Rancho de Sueños, who has been buying replacement females from Nunley ranches since their first sale. We even have some of those first cows that we bought over 10 years ago that are still in the cow herd. Approximately half of them are 12 to 14 years old and still having a calf every year and producing a high quality calf. The Santa Gertrudis cross cattle that the Nunleys have produced, which are Star 5s, which are half Santa Gertrudis, have become the commercial cow of the future. They've kind of supplanted the Brahman Hereford F1, and they're so versatile you can breed them to almost any type of bull and have a high quality calf.
We're just starting I think, a 15th year on our heifer sale, which we put together our best heifers and run them longer to get them bred and sort them up in lots and sell them on Superior through our special heifer sale. Our steers are sold off oats generally February through May, and normally weigh around 800 pounds. They're sold to, well, whoever, grazing or primarily feed yards. They are, the last few years we've been hormone free and all natural, no antibiotics. We have the ability with Superior to market them on their merits, you know, the non-hormone, the non-antibiotic, and in the uniform load lots. It's done well for us.
Our customers have taken our cattle all over the United States, and from the East Coast to way up north. And the Hereford influence, the half Hereford in the heifers, lets them put on more hair and do well in cold environments. And in the Santa Gertrudis, they just do very well down in the heat in the southern parts of the states.
They say it's not work if you love what you're doing. I love what I'm doing. This is my life. It's not work. It's every day I get up and I'm excited to go and do something. And it's a new adventure. You never know what you're going to get into. And from the time we meet in the morning till the next morning, the whole plan could have changed for the week. So there's no monotonous movements about it in that aspect.
Well, I think ranch life here at the Coyote is quite a life to live. It's definitely a lifestyle and not really a job. You know, it's what people do every day and what they live and breathe and enjoy doing.
I think working with my family, it makes me really proud because I get to see all the work that they put in to this business that they've built to be so successful. Starting with Red and then moving through to my dad and Bob. It makes me really proud to be part of that legacy and to have a part of that and be able to one day in the future hopefully carry on that legacy with Chloe and Sarah. I think it makes us stronger as a family. I think it makes us all proud to be part of this legacy.
We want to thank the Nunley families for a great show on their Texas ranching operation. You might be interested to know that they've got excellent hunting opportunities there as well. Visit their website for more information about this and about their annual heifer sale. You can find them online at nunleybrothers.com. For more information about us, visit our website, theamericanrancher.com, or find us on Facebook. We'd love to connect with you. I'm Pam Minnick for the entire American Rancher team. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.